Hello there, it's Jo Hughes supporting counsellors in their private practice. And today what I wanted to talk about is our tendency to compare ourselves with others and how this makes us feel and how it can affect our marketing and ways to overcome it. So I've been writing this week for my clients on self-comparison when we're making comparisons with others. And it really is something that can cripple us. And the problem is often when we start making comparisons, we're actually coming from a place where we're not really believing in ourselves anyway. If we were really in our adult selves, would we be comparing ourselves with people, or would we be accepting that we are who we are and that's all right? But often when we're comparing ourselves, we're not doing that. We're coming from a place of inferiority. And so what we tend to do is we tend to compare our weaknesses with other people's strengths. And this can be really difficult if you're just starting out on trying to improve your marketing, and if you're thinking about maybe writing a blog or maybe doing a live feed on Facebook page. You know, it can be really difficult if you start looking at other people who seem to be so much more experienced and so much better than you. And it can really trigger all your insecurities. And the problem is when that happens is that, we never get started. We can feel completely overwhelmed. And I'm just sharing this because that's what happened to me. I had a Facebook business page for about 4 years and I hardly ever posted on it because I couldn't think of anything to post. And I looked around at what other people were doing and I just couldn't imagine that I'd ever be able to do what they were doing. But I got started when I first decided to do a little video on mindfulness. And when I teach on my Setting Up in Private Practice and Marketing workshops, I do show this video because it is really quite funny. The wind was blowing. I wanted to show people how to be mindful standing next to the sea. And, you couldn't really hear what I was saying because of the strength of the wind. You can see I've got very curly hair, and when that was blowing in the wind it kept blowing across my face, and somebody who watched the video said how distracting it was to see that the hair had stuck underneath my nose because my nose was running. That's how bad it was. So I just want to share that with you because this is how you start, and it doesn't matter. I did post it to Facebook and it did get a lot of comments, and most of my friends actually were really complimentary because they admired me for having a go. But after that, I decided to try and record something on sleep. And so I set the video up and I started talking about sleep. And after about 5 minutes, I thought, I think I need to stop this because I'd gone on and on. There was so much to say. Now, the thing is, once you get started, you'd be surprised actually at what is inside you. You haven't spent all this time training, how to be a counsellor. You haven't spent all this time sitting in front of clients and listening to them without learning. You have got a lot of knowledge and wisdom that you can share with people. And if you spend your time looking around at other people and comparing what you're doing with other counsellors, you're just going to feel overwhelmed and never get started. So what I recommend you do is take a little first baby step to getting started. So you might like to sit down and spend, a few minutes just having ideas for blog posts. Just write down the titles. That's all you need to do. Just think, what would I like to write about? What do I think people need to know? So imagine what you would have liked to have known before you started out on your counselling journey. Think about some of the clients that you've seen. What would they like to have known? And that might give you some ideas for blog posts. You can do what I did and just sit down with a video and start recording. It doesn't have to be a live feed or anything. You can just do it at home and try it out. And then sort of choose somebody who perhaps is quite supportive and ask them to help give you a bit of feedback and see if there's anything you could do to improve. But really the best way to improve is through practice. And in order to practice, you've got to get going, you've got to start. So that's my thought for today. Don't look at other people and get started. Just anything, any baby step that you can do. I'm running a marketing course in Southend-on-Sea in Essex on September the 8th. And if this video has spoken to you and you're able to come in person, we're quite close to the railway station. You can get there from Liverpool Street or Fenchurch Street. There's lots of public parking available, and I'd be very happy to see you there if you'd like to come. And I'll put links to that workshop in the comments. In the meantime, take care of yourself, and if there's anything you'd like to know or discuss with me, please do feel free to contact me. Thanks so much for watching. Take care now and have a good weekend. Bye.